Hey guys, Coach Jason here. So today I want to move up now and start doing some 10K specific plans, okay? I've got 5K plans, okay? I have a sub 18, a sub 17, a sub 16, and a sub 15 detailed 12-week training program. So if you want to take a look at that for either yourself or some of your athletes, click the subscribe button and click the bell next to the subscribe button. You'll get them all. They're all detailed by the day, by the week, by the month. If you want marathon training programs or half marathon training programs, they're on my channel too, so make sure you subscribe. If you want a video on how to set the right training paces, I have that. If you want a running specific stretch routine, I have that. If you want a 1 mile time trial video, which determines your kind of abilities for shorter and longer races, that's on the channel too. And everything is fully detailed. And I encourage you to do something. If you're going to watch any of the videos, this one or another one, watch the whole thing. Don't just watch the first minute or the last minute or pause and write down and pause and write down. You're going to miss important information, okay? I took the last 20 plus years as a former competitive athlete and a current coach. I learned from some of the best coaches, and I've made mistakes, and I've learned the hard way, okay? I don't want that to happen to you, whether you're an athlete or a coach. So please take the time to watch these videos, okay? Because I explain everything throughout the video from beginning to end. And if there's anything missing, please put it in please make a comment down below, and I'll be sure to either include it or answer your question, okay? But today I want to focus on how to run a sub 40-minute 10K. Okay, the video after this is going to be sub 35 minutes, and then I'm going to have a sub 30-minute detailed training program for 10 kilometers or 10,000 meters, okay? How it coincides with the other 5Ks, you'll see the differences and the similarities as well in the training. And just as an FYI, everything's broken down to 4-week blocks since it's a 12-week plan. It's called periodization, okay? It takes 21 to 28 days for the body to adapt to a certain training stimulus, okay? So you can do 4 blocks of 3 weeks each. I like three blocks of 4 weeks each, just because I can incorporate a couple more things, and I could also incorporate some races within the program as well. And we have some, I did plug in some races here every 3 weeks, but it can be completely different to you as a coach or as an athlete. That's completely up to you how you want to schedule races and training around the races. So anyway, let's get to the details, okay? You'll notice some consistencies. I'll explain them along the way. So week 1, and again, just before I go, if you're a high-volume advocate or a low-volume advocate, that's completely up to you. These training programs can be used as a template or a guide for you to either follow or modify into what you feel is most appropriate for yourself or your athletes. And again, how to set the appropriate training paces. I do use running calculators. I also use a lot of experience. My pace ranges are very similar to the running calculators. I have the exact training programs, the exact training paces laid out in the video, so that if you want to know how to train for a sub 40 10 kilometer based on what it's equivalent to a 5K and so on, you have that available to you, okay? I just kind of lay out the pace itself, or say 10K pace, 5K pace, 3K pace here, okay? So the only legwork you really have to do is to determine the right training paces, and you have a guide to do that in one of my videos, all right? So with this, week 1, okay? Monday, 6 miles easy. Monday's always going to be a consistent, easy day for me, especially if you're a coach at the high school or college level. It allows you to kind of get the week going on an easy day. You can incorporate core strength and things like that. I generally will plug in Tuesday, Friday workouts in a non-race week and a Tuesday workout in a race week, but again, that's up to you. I just kind of like to have a consistent pattern to follow. All right. So again, Monday, 6 miles easy. Tuesday, 3 mile warm up, D/S. That's drills and strides. 2 miles of up-tempo running. Okay, that's about 15 to 20 seconds per mile slower than tempo pace. It's just to get the heart rate up so you can do the body of the workout while the heart rate's up. It allows you to have a little bit of a better stimulus for the workout, okay? Then we're going to do 8 by 400 meter uphill runs. Okay, it's a somewhat gradual hill, nothing crazy. The idea is to lean into the hill but staying upright, focus on pumping your arms, lifting your knees, okay? And generally think of a momentum hill. I do have a hill running video, by the way, that teaches different hill running options. But think of this as taking about 30 or 40 meters to kind of run to the hill, maintaining the same rhythm as you do going up as you do on the flats. Obviously, it won't be as fast, but that's the idea, is to keep a good running rhythm throughout the whole entire rep. And then you're going to jog back down easily, okay? And when you're jogging back down, try to lean into the hill just a little bit so that you stay perpendicular to the hill, okay? That takes a little bit of stress off your joints, your Achilles, your lower back, knees and stuff, all right? 3 mile cool down. Wednesday, 10 miles, and then 4 by 200 meters with a jog equal recovery at 3K pace, okay? Thursday, 8 miles. Friday, 3-mile warm-up drills and strides again. Then 2 by 200 meter reps at tempo, okay? And then whatever your appropriate tempo pace is. So let's just say for this situation, it's 640 per, no, actually 715 per mile, because a sub 40 is almost 640 per mile. So let's say 715 per mile. You break that down, okay? Then your 200 meter reps would be at that pace. What it does is it helps you lock into that pace before doing the workout, so you're not having to use the first mile or mile and a half to figure out the pace or find the pace. The 200 meter reps prior to that kind of allows you to get the feel for the pace, so that then you can get the benefit of the entire tempo instead of 80% of it, okay? So 2 by 200 meters of tempo, then a 5-mile tempo, all right? And then you're going to take a 4-minute recovery, and then 5 by 100 meter strides afterward with a 100-meter jog, just to get the legs turning over when they're fatigued after doing a tempo, right? Then a 3-mile cool down. Saturday's going to be a long run of 11 to 12 miles, and it's going to be rolling if possible, okay? 4 miles easy just to shake out the legs on Sunday. Week 2, 6 miles on Monday. Tuesday, 3-mile warm-up drills and strides, another 2-mile up tempo, the same pace as the week prior. Then take about a 4 to 5 minute recovery again, after you elevate the heart rate. And then I'm going to do 2 miles at your current 10K fitness, whatever it is. How do you determine that? You can do that with a 1-mile time trial. So I encourage you to watch that video, because that'll help determine how to set the training paces. And I'll tell you what your equivalent fitness is based on your 1-mile time trial for 5K, 10K, and so on. All right. So 2 miles at current 10K fitness, then a 4 to 5 minute active recovery. The recovery is always going to be active, and then 6 by 400 meters with a 100-meter jog at 5K pace. So your equivalent 5K pace. Cool down 3 miles. And keep in mind, too, you're not necessarily working at your goal pace right now. You're working at your current fitness pace, progressing towards your goal pace. That's another reason why I've got blocks of 4 weeks, okay, and allowing races in there. The races will determine whether you're ready to progress in terms of training intensity, because the last thing you want to do is increase training volume and intensity. Let the races or time trials tell you whether you're ready to increase the intensity of your training, increase the pace of your training. That way you're not training ahead of yourself, okay? Or trying to hang on for dear life with other people who might be closer to a sub 40 than you, or vice versa. So it's something to keep in mind. Training at the appropriate training paces is of vital importance, okay? Yeah, so then you do, okay, and then a 5K pace, 3-mile cooldown, sorry. 10 miles on Wednesday, 6 by 100 meter strides. That's just by feel. Jog equal recovery. 8 miles on Thursday. Friday, 3-mile warm-up drills and strides. Then a 2 by 200 meters again at tempo. It's going to be a jog equal recovery. Excuse me, at threshold this time. It's at threshold pace. So whatever your threshold, appropriate threshold pace is where you're going to be training. Doing the 200s at. And then 7 times 1,000 meter with a 1-minute recovery at threshold. Then 5 by 50 meter strides afterward to get your legs turning over after the threshold, and 3-mile cooldown. Remember, threshold pace is going to be slightly faster than your actual tempo run pace. So you have up-tempo pace, which is a little slower, tempo pace, which is a little bit faster than up-tempo, and then threshold pace, which is a little faster than tempo pace. And one of the reasons why it's faster is because you have rest periods in between. And it's a very non-invasive way of increasing your aerobic capacity and your threshold without having to do hard race pace stuff, which it's also important, but it also requires longer recovery period than tempos and thresholds do. So it's something to keep in mind. Okay, and then 3-mile cool down. Then a long run again, 11, 12 miles on Saturday. Nice and rolling if possible. Off day on Sunday. Okay, I have an off day plugged in every other week here. Now it's completely up to you to decide whether that's enough, too much, too little. That really depends on you and your athletes, and all the factors that go into what's most appropriate for you guys. But you'll notice consistencies, and the way I look at it is, and also from experience, if you're training and recovering sufficiently and appropriately all along the way, then you don't need to make drastic changes the last week or two, expecting some magical peak. The magical peaks, there's no such thing. No such thing as a magic workout either. There are staple workouts, but there's no magic workout that's going to get you there. Okay? It's consistent training, doing it the right way over an extended period of time. It's gradual progression, always. Okay? So, back to this. Week 3. 6 miles on Monday. That's a constant. Tuesday, 3-mile warm-up drills and strides. A 2-mile up-tempo again. Just like this, just like week 1. Then we're going to do 8 by 400 meters uphill again. Okay? same focus, and then with a jog down, equal recovery. But now on the back end, we're adding 4 by 200 meters with a 100-meter stride on the flats at 5K to 3K pace. So to get the legs turning over after running hills, to get you back into running fast on the flats. 3-mile cool down. 10 miles on Wednesday. Thursday's 8 miles, 5 by 300 meter with a jog of 100 meters. Afterward at 3K pace. All right? Little turnover work. Friday, 6 miles. Saturday's going to be the first race of your 12-week blocks. It's a warm-up 3 miles, drills and strides. And then we're going to see where you're at. We're going to run a 5K and see where your fitness is at, how close you are, and how far you are. And that'll help determine how to move, what to do with the training paces moving forward. All right? And then a 4-mile cool down. Sunday, long run, 11 to 12 miles, rolling. Week 4, 6 miles on Monday. Tuesday, 3-mile warm-up, drills and strides. A 2-mile up-tempo run again. Rest 4 to 5 minutes. And then we're going to do 2 miles at your current 10K fitness again. All right? Just like this one. Okay? 4 to 5 minute recovery, then 8 by 400 meters afterward at 5K pace with a 100-meter jog. All right? So we did 6 of them here. We're adding 2 here. All right? And then a 3-mile cool down. Wednesday, 10 miles. And then after we're going to do a 200, a 150, a 100, and a 50. Just some acceleratory running. Jog equal recovery after each one. Thursday's 8 miles. Friday, a 3-mile warm-up. Drills and strides. And then 2 by 200 meter efforts at tempo pace with a jog equal recovery, just to get the lock into the pace. And now we're going to do a 6-mile tempo run. Now, if you need to scale it back to 5.5 miles, if you need to do another 5, do what you feel is appropriate. Okay, I at least like to get to the point where the tempo distance is virtually equal to the race distance. Okay, so you know what it feels like to run at least 6 miles or 10K at a hard pace. Okay, broken up or together. Okay, and then after the 6-mile tempo run, you take about a 4 to 5 minute recovery in the back end, and then 3 by 150 meter strides on the opposite end for turnover again. 3-mile cool down. Saturday, long run, 12 to 13 miles, so we bumped that up by a mile. Rolling, and then that's Saturday, and then Sunday's an off day. All right, so now we've established a little bit of a pattern here. So like a Tuesday, Friday workout, I kind of alternated on the alternate week. I repeated a workout 2 weeks prior, but I added something to it. I either added flat running to the hills, or I added a couple extra reps of 400 after the tempo progression towards race pace progression. So there's a consistent pattern here. Okay, just want you to keep that in mind. Now I'm going to take this down. I'm going to go to weeks 5 through 8, and you'll notice some differences here, okay? Every block of training, you're going to notice a little bit of a different training stimulus. Okay, so week 5, the constant is going to be Monday, 6 miles, okay? Tuesday, 3-mile warm-up drills and strides, 2-mile up-tempo again, 5 minutes of easy recovery jogging, all right? And then 10 by 200 meters, so we shorten the uphill now. So it's going to get a little bit faster, because it's half the distance. So 10 by 200 meter uphill with a jog equal down recovery. 4 minutes afterward, and then we're going to run 1 mile at your current 10K pace. Not your goal 10K pace, current 10K pace. Okay? To see how well you lock into the pace towards the end of the race when the legs are fatigued from doing something. Whether you're doing a road race or a flat race, if you're doing a road race and it's rolling, you're still going to need to run that last mile. Okay? So this simulates doing it after a rolling course. This will also simulate doing it at the end of a race. If you're close to achieving your goal and you need to run that last mile at 10K pace, that's going to help you get there. Okay, 3-mile cool down. 11 miles on Wednesday, so we bumped up that a little bit just by a mile. I call it an intermediate run or a semi-long run. And then 50, 100, 150, and 200. I flipped that one around and did it backwards now. Shorter to longer with a jog equal recovery. 8 miles on Thursday. Friday, 3-mile warm-up, drills and strides. 2 by 200 meter at threshold, a jog equal recovery. And then 6 by 1200 meters at threshold, okay, with a 75-second recovery. So it's going to be the same pace that you ran thousands or right close to it. We've added 15 seconds to the rest. The volume's virtually the same. You did 7 times 1,000, which is 7,000 meters. This is 7,200 meters, so it's only 200 meters more a total distance, but you're spending more time in the threshold zone. It takes a certain amount of time to get there, and then you're spending that time. It takes about 45 seconds to sort of get into the threshold zone. So by lengthening the rep, but by staying at the same pace, you're doing more quality work in the threshold zone, and that's the goal. Okay. After you do the 6 by 1200 at threshold, you're going to run 1 by 1,000 meter rep at your 10K race pace. okay? Current 10K race pace. And then a 3-minute recovery, and then a 600-meter rep at goal 10K pace or current 5K pace, which is a little bit faster. 3-mile cool down, okay? Long run, 12 to 13 miles on Saturday, rolling, 4 miles easy on Sunday. Week 6, 6 miles on Monday. And 6 miles will always be just a nice relaxed pace, all right? Tuesday, 3-mile warm-up drills and strides, 3 miles up tempo, so we added a mile to it. Okay, again, the goal is to elevate the heart rates while getting some quality running in, which gradually transitions you into some faster stuff. So in this case, it'll be a 5-minute active recovery and then 2 miles again at your current 10K fitness. Take a 4-minute recovery, but now we're going to do 6 by 500 meters instead of 4s with a jog 100-meter rep at 5K pace. Okay, 3-mile cool down. It could be current to goal, depending on how fit you are. It could be all current. And you can progress towards your goal if you happen to repeat this workout later. Okay. Wednesday, 11 miles. Thursday, 8 miles. 4 by progression 150s with the jog equal recovery. What I mean by progression 150s, 50 meters of its float, 50 meters of its stride, 50 meters of its sprinting. So each 50 gets faster. It kind of simulates changing gears at the end of a race. Okay. Going from one kick to the next kick to the next kick. Okay. 5 miles on Friday. Race number 2 now. 3-mile warm-up, drills and strides. Either a 10K race or a 10-mile race. Ideally, if you can find a 10K, that would be good. But if you can't and you have a 10-miler available, or we'll do a simulation, either 10 miles or 10K, or sort of a time trial, if we need to do that, if there aren't these types of races available, because sometimes they're hard to find. And then a cool down of 3 miles. But it is good to do 2 10Ks if you can in a season. It'll show you what how you're progressing from one to the next, and show you what adjustments you need to make based on your mile splits. I encourage you to look at your mile splits. If they get slower, if they get faster, and it allows you to analyze the race. Okay. Off day on Sunday. Okay. Week 7, 6 miles on Monday. Tuesday, 3-mile warm-up, drills and strides, 2 miles up tempo again. Okay. Rest 3. So we cut it back a mile, but then we cut the rest back. And then we're going to do 10 by 200 meter uphill runs again, with a jog equal recovery, then a 4-minute rest, and then we're going to run 1 mile on the back end of the goal 10K pace. Not current, goal 10K pace. 3-mile cool down. Wednesday, 11 miles, 5 by 300 meters with a 100-meter jog at 3K pace. Thursday, 8 miles. Friday, 3-mile warm-up drills and strides. 2 by 200 meters with a jog equal recovery, always at tempo. And then we're going to do a 6-mile tempo run at your current appropriate pace, 5-minute recovery, and then 4 by 200 meters afterward with a 100-meter jog at 3K pace. 3-mile cool down. Long run, 13 to 14 miles on rolling on Saturday. We bumped it up by a mile. All right. 4 miles easy on Sunday. Let's go to week 8. 6 miles on Monday. Tuesday, 3-mile warm-up, drills and strides. 3 miles of up-tempo. Take a 5-minute easy recovery. Then we're going to run 2 miles at 10K goal pace, okay, 4-minute recovery, and then 5 by 600 meters, okay, with the 200-meter jog at 5K pace, with a 3-minute cool down, 3-mile cool down. 11 miles on Wednesday, 6 by 100-meter strides, 8 miles on Thursday. Friday, 3-mile warm-up drills and strides, 2 by 200 meters with a jog equal recovery at threshold pace, right? Then 6 times a mile with a 90-second recovery at threshold pace. All right, spending more time in the threshold zone because the rep's getting longer, and then the rest period is going up by 90 seconds, by 15 seconds, to 90 seconds. Okay, so 6 times a mile at threshold, and then on the back end, 4 by 100-meter strides, jog equal recovery, 3-mile cool down. Long run of 13 to 14 miles rolling on Saturday, and then an off day on Sunday. Okay, so again, we've increased the long runs a little bit on this block. We've done a longer race to complement the shorter race, okay? And we've infused some shorter hill running here, but we've increased the amount of threshold. We started incorporating a little bit of race pace and threshold running in this cycle here. Okay, so that's the transition from the first one to this one. All right, so now we'll take this one down, and then weeks 9 through 12 for the final 4 weeks, okay? 6 miles on Monday, week 9. 3-mile warm-up on Tuesday, okay, drills and strides. 2 by 200 meter at tempo, okay? Now we're going to do 2 sets of component, okay? It's going to be 1.5 mile, and then a mile, and then 800, okay? So that's 3 miles per set, so it's a total of 6 miles of hard running, okay? So what you're going to do is going to take 4 minutes after the 1.5 mile, which is going to be a 10K pace, and then you're going to run a mile at 5K pace and take a 3-minute recovery, and then an 800-meter rep at 3K pace. And then after the 800-meter rep, you're going to take 6 minutes of active recovery in between the sets and repeat. So you go to 10K pace, 5K pace, 3K pace, okay? And then repeat as the rep gets shorter. 3-mile cool down. 11 miles on Wednesday, 8 miles on Thursday, 5 by 200 meters at 3K down to mile pace with a jog equal recovery. 6 miles on Friday, and then 3-mile warm-up drills and strides. Now a shorter race, if we can find one, a 1,500 or a mile or a 3K 2-mile race, or we'll do a simulator, a time trial, okay, to see how well the speed is for the shorter stuff. And then a 3-mile cool down. And again, it's kind of simulating a 1-mile time trial that I encourage you to do in the beginning of the season. This gives me an idea of how your fitness has progressed, or it'll give you the idea of how well your fitness has progressed along the way, okay? And there's conditions behind the 1-mile time trial, by the way, so watch the video on the 1-mile time trial. You know when to run it and when not to run it, okay? Long run, 12 to 13 miles rolling now. We cut that back a mile on Sunday. Week 10, we're almost there. 6 miles on Monday. Tuesday, 3-mile warm-up drills and strides. 2 by 200 meter at tempo with a jog equal. And then they're going to do a 2K rep at 10K pace. Take a 5-minute active recovery. A mile rep at 10K pace with a 4-minute recovery. 1,200 meter rep at 5K pace with a 3-minute recovery. A 1,000 meter rep at 5K pace with a 2:30 recovery. And then a 600 meter rep at 3K pace. 3-mile cool down. So the reps get shorter, you get progressively faster, but it's just one descending set. 11 miles on Wednesday. Okay, we're incorporating more race pace stuff now, so you can catch this last 10K on the upswing. All right. 8 miles on Thursday, 6 by 100 meter strides, jog equal. Friday, 3-mile warm-up drills and strides, 2 by 200 meters at threshold with a jog equal recovery. 5 by 2K, 5 by 2 kilometers or 2,000 meters at threshold with a 90-second to 2-minute recovery. All right, spending more time in the threshold zone, allowing you to do 10 kilometers worth of volume, and it's up to you to determine whether 90 seconds is appropriate, or whether you need to bump it up to 2 minutes or even 1:45. This is where you have to coach with your eyes and not only your watch. This is one of the situations where it's important to do that. Okay. Then 5 by 50 meter strides on the back end to get you turning over. 3-mile cool down. Saturday, long run of 12 to 13 miles rolling. Off day on Sunday. Okay, now we're down to the last 2 weeks. Week 11, 6 miles on Monday. Tuesday, 3-mile warm-up drills and strides. 2 miles at your goal 10K pace. All right. 8-minute active recovery. And then 3 times a mile at your goal 10K pace or slightly faster with a 3-minute recovery in between each. And then on the back end, 1 by 800 meter rep hard at the end to simulate kicking or driving from 800 meters to the finish. Okay, that'll be closer to between 5K and 3K pace. 3-mile cool down. 11 miles Wednesday, 5 by 50 meter strides. 8 miles Thursday. Friday, 3-mile warm-up drills and strides. 2 by 200 meters with a jog equal recovery at tempo. All right, and then you're going to do 12 by 400 meters, just rhythm work with a 45-second recovery at 5K pace. Okay, your current 5K pace. 3-mile cool down. Just rhythm, 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 rhythm. If you need it to bump it up to a minute recovery, that's fine too. Long run on Saturday of 10 miles, so we're cutting that back because it's the week before your goal race. And rolling, and easy 5 miles on Sunday. Okay, now we're at race week. 6 miles on Monday. Tuesday, 3-mile warm-up drills and strides, 2 by 200 meters with a jog equal recovery at threshold. And then we're going to run 5 by 1,000 meter reps with a minute recovery at threshold pace, so a very non-invasive, low-volume workout. Hay should be in the barn by now. You don't need to do a hard, super hard workout. Last thing you want to do is something super hard and anaerobic and lactic, which can take your legs, from your legs that you'll need on that weekend. So, and then on the back end, 1 by 400 meter hard. So now it simulates kicking from 400 meters out instead of 800 meters out, and this will be faster than the kicking of 800 meters. Then a 3-mile cool down. 10 miles on Wednesday. Thursday, 6 miles, 3 by 150s with a jog equal recovery. Okay, nice and relaxed. 4 miles on Saturday, and then on Friday, and then on Saturday, showtime. 3-mile warm-up drills and strides, your goal 10K race, and then a 3-mile cool down. I do encourage you to run 3 miles the day after just to shake out the legs, because especially if you likely set a big PR, you'll have your legs will be a little bit heavy and a little lactic. So you just have a lot of junk in your legs. So again, another transition towards more race pace stuff, okay? The reason why I have the race pace stuff kind of on the back end and not all throughout is because you generally have a 6 to 8 week block of peak racing fitness, okay? And I want you to catch the race on the back end and not be peaking too early or not be ready to peak, okay? Peaking is not, it's considered a myth, but if you're doing the right things all along, you'll be at your peak fitness when you need it the most, and that's the key. There's no magic week. There's a series of weeks, okay? And we want to make sure you catch it on the upswing. So I hope this program's helpful. I hope you learn from it. You know, if you like this content, please drop a like. If you want to see my other videos, please subscribe to the page. My Instagram page is Black Belt Running Coach. I put a lot of running content on there. If you have any other questions of a personalized nature or need personalized coaching, my email is blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. And look out for the next video, which is going to be a sub 35-minute 10K and then a sub 30-minute 10K after that. So if you subscribe, click the bell next to it, you'll know exactly when I send it out, which will be in the next week. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. I learn from you guys just as much as you learn from me, and I want to give back to the sport. You know, I want to serve you guys as much as I possibly can. So have a great season, stay well, and I'll talk to you next time.